Solidify!
Go. We're way behind schedule. Play's over.
Worthless! Order guide you! Stabilize!
Like life goes on. Orders given. Orders received. Faster? Okay, faster. For Rex Lapis! Born of... Oh. Sacred name. Fortune Preserver. For justice.
My demon expelling mantra is ready.
What'd they do this time?
I'll lead the way. Follow me. Yeah.
outlines your fate.
Ready, go! Yulgrant, you're up!
Let me weave you a verse.
Our bond is strong.
You're open. My hammer.
From whence you came!
Out of my way!
Freeze.
Hey, go away! Don't be scared!
Stand with me! Rain cutter!
A touch of frost. Spirit blade. Attack!
I'll settle this! Time to act. No, my soul! Let me weave you a verse.
Our bond is strong.
Submit for judgment.
Go get him, Yulgrant! Stay put! Yulgrant, you're up! Lightning, Sheriff!
Rain cutter! Rain outlines your fate.
Forth, my blade. Spirit blade. Attack!
Stand with me!
blade! Submit for judgment!
Out of my way!
Go away! Don't be scared!
Our bond is strong! Stand with me!
For trouble?
Yulgrant, you're up!
No, my sword! Hey! Rim cutter!
Spirit blade! Attack! Forth, my blade! Following order.
Gotcha, Yulgrant! Stay put! Lightning,
Terrified! Our bond is strong!
Submit for judgment! There is no purer form of water than rain. It can aid us greatly in the purging of evil. Before...
Let's go.
May knowledge guide you.
Yulgrant, you're...
Let me weave you.
Ready, go!
Time for retribution!
I'll settle this. Stand with me.
Don't be scared!
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your victory. strong. Witness the power of Gugwa. Stand with me.
Lightning terrified! Now press, yulgrant! Yulgrant! You're up! Hit! Hook! Yeah! Hit! Yeah! This way! Yeah! Don't be scared!
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you now. Next time.
My demon expelling mon.
A walk would be nice. Rite! One man's stone is another man's gem.
Solidify!
Paimon's so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to take any breaks?
I can't believe it. Cloud Retainer is not here.
Huh? Did we miss her?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other Adepti. True. Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own. There's no need to worry about her. Since she's not here, I guess the next step is to check all the other Adepti abodes, one by one.
Uh-oh. Will it involve a lot more traveling? Got it! Paimon has a great idea!
Please go on, Paimon.
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right? We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the story suggests, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
So, all we have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the... You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim! Just trust Paimon! The water's pretty deep over there. Quick, swim to the very center! Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If only there was a kind-hearted Adeptus here to save us! Oh no! Whatever will a Paimon do?
What is going on?
How do you feel right now? Shenhe! And the...
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it. Okay, fine. Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault. No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes, just like the wind. Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you... I had planned to spend the festival... Oh, speaking of Cloud... Earlier this morning, she set off for Mount Hulao at dawn. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a... So please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her... Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continue to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodation, but when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that. Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Oh, so you came look
Yep. Oh, speaking...
music?
It...
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us.
Yay! That's...
We were just talking about...
Oh, really?
Body and mind.
As per our contract. This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything! Oh, whew! Paimon hasn't got... anyway...
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds.
Oh... okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault.
Oh. And a melody is?
Hey! Don't you patronize Paimon! Hey! Why don't you just...
Oh, was that from the opera?
That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt like I was transported back to the past. As I watched you when you hummed that melody just now. Feelings from a whole year ago.
Wow, Shenhe. Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like... what about you?
I know some local folk songs. The songs of the sailors down at the docks. Yes, that in the past, whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, I always felt that Nenny and Liyue probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with you. At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I the way those even though we, in that sense...
You go?
Yes, technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional form. Thank you, everyone. Once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home in the city. Please invite Kachin. I've planted many types of flowers. I'm sure some of them will be to your taste. You are too... Nonsense. I have cultivated and cared for the flowers just as you taught me. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on... Then... Do people say...
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out.
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Master. Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird is...
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it rather than she, even after being chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well. If you refuse to learn your lesson, one shall scold you no... One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savor.
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, come and... Thank you, everyone.
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of her? Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. She was extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings. Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Seagazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart. Though usually a mild-mannered fellow, when it came to those collectibles he was so fond of, he always loved to—
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Seagazer was—
He was an old friend and a former rival. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical— As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Zeke. His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one's own hand?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics. On some occasions, she would join in, and on others, she'd take one of us by the limb and start uttering the most
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain and grill some— She always sought to make everyone happy, and one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense— It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or ladybird.
Come on, get over yourself!
Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dishes to the— Who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would all immediately drop the argument and prepare the table for a night of— Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup? Then you are most tolerant. But that is its own virtue. Even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation, filling the table with humor and laughter. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time? We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains, until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of them would appear to the eye as a veritable sea of flowers.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's store? Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she—
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant question. No matter, one will share the whole story with you.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetward Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetward Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not see that one coming.
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting. But Streetwood Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition? Once upon a time, Streetwood Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetwood Rambler.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why she would retire the tune after having spent so long on it. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?"
Aw, poor Madam Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds. Blank pages give one cause for contemplation on what might have been. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be that this is just your own personal opinion?
Oh? How so?
I've been in Liyue Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way. So I, too, am well acquainted with the pain of the passing of a loved, but this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. They have to. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand. Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elf. No loss can ever be undone. But there is always much that can still. Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers, and though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit, life goes on. Because there are new friends waiting for you for.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's Lantern Rite. When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform? Maybe we can even get her up on...
You young...
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping. And Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every Lantern Rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new to discuss? One in Ping could meet any day.
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before. How long will you simply let them pass you by?
The edibles she brought this time. Very well, then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back. Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them carefully enough, do you think that one day we'd be able to recreate the sea of glaze lilies?
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of
What? Cloud Retainer?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time, one is depart.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule.
Whoa! Madame Ping? And Cloud Retainer?
It appears you may...
Oh, bless my soul. To what do I owe the honor? How nice of you all.
Miss Illuminated Bird, haven't you said...
Said what, precisely? And why should one be tasked with
Because you're the one who's known Madame Ping
street word? Or rather, presumably, you would prefer to be addressed as...
Oh, Cloud Retainer, you are uncommonly polite.
Given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather in the city is most pleasant, and a sweet floral fragrance... Ganyu, please continue from here.
Huh? So, this all started because we were trying to help Mr. Dvorak find the Adeptus who saved his ancestor. Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and rescued the drowning man was none other than yourself.
Ah, let me think. Yes, I do believe I recall that encounter. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still remember it. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her.
Albeit reluctantly, one might add.
There is no harm done. After all, Lantern Rite's very purpose is to commemorate the heroes who gave their lives for Liyue. Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today, she was as much a hero as any other.
So how has she proven herself right again exactly?
Once upon a time, she said to me that humans were a weak form of life that she wished to protect with her wisdom. But as she interacted more and more with them, her opinions on them began to change. She marveled at the beautiful complexity of their spirits, the sheer splendor of all they could accomplish through their hard work and intelligence. She told us that to underestimate human potential would be to make a grave mistake. With the smallest amount of guidance, enormous power, and a human who has reached their full potential may well be her equal. Someone who could have as much to teach an Adeptus as...
She always had a way with work. That her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was, one suspects, in large part due to her sheer...
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer, do you still remember that potted plant mechanism? The one that...
Of course. Guizhong and one both put an immense amount of effort into that gift. It would be no overstatement to call it a testament to each of our individual...
As Guizhong once said, it takes every blade of grass and every flower to make a homeland. When I see the sight of Liyue Harbor before us today, I am reminded of this.
Madame Ping looks very emotional right now.
Of all of us, it was Guizhong who was the fondest of these grand and exciting occasions. If she were still with us, I'm quite sure she would still be trying to best Cloud Retainer's finest works at every opportunity.
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were here, one is certain that she would seek you out to discuss and debate the virtues of various...
Oh yeah, music! We've been dying to ask. What was the melody that you played? Oh, also, with you being such a music expert and all, why don't you join the concert as a...
I can make arrangements right away.
Oh, as much as I don't wish to dampen your enthusiasm, it's been a long time since I played this zither. My fingers don't have the dexterity they once did, and whenever I play that tune, it always reminds me of her. There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again. Sitting right there on the stone stool next to me, chatting away. Skybracer and Seagazer too, looking just like they did in the old days. No matter how much time goes by, the moment that melody starts playing, it transports me right back.
So the past still weighs heavily on your...
Oh, I would be lying to myself if I claim to have but that is not to say that grief doesn't get easier with despite the sadness. I have found many things that bring me joy in life. It is simply the nature of the world in which we live that even if one wished to mourn for an eternity, it would be a nigh and just look at this potted plant. Isn't it stunning?
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer grief. You have indeed made progress.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern rite stage to the youth.
Well, if you...
Granny! Whoa, what's everyone doing here?
Ah, and now we've spooked Yanfei. No, everyone's just here to give me their regards for the holiday.
Oh, that's one. Well, in that case, happy Lantern Rite, everyone.
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remembered that I have some, work to do at Yuehai Pavilion that I need to discuss with Yanfei. I haven't been able to find a chance until now. I will leave Mr. Dvorak in your capable hands. Cloud Retainer, Ping, we will be off for now.
Huh? Does it have to be right now? Which case is this again?
It seems Ganyu still has much to learn when it comes to the art of deception.
What a pity. She has learned nothing of one's ability to carry a...
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay? I'll make a cup of tea and we can chat.
Gladly. This will...
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards. I'd like to wish him the very best with the concert.
You got it, madam!
Thank you all. I think you've listened to enough of my nattering for one day. As for that melody, I will play it for you all another time. Goodness knows I need to practice it.
Wow, that'd be great!
When that time comes. Wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains of sand and specks of dust between the harbor and the mountain.
All right, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news.
Next on the agenda.
What if Master finds out?
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Should we really? Be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Mr. Dvorak! Ah, and Kuchin's here too! Thanks for helping set all of this up.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Really, really well. We found the person Mr. Dvorak was looking for.
Are you serious? I see. So the melody my ancestor heard was an adeptus remembering her late friend? That certainly explains why it was such a powerful and poignant tune.
Huh. That's a really interesting first reaction. Guess that comes with having a musical mind.
I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy from the tale is now an elderly granny.
Oh, Paimon knows exactly what you mean. Normally, Adepti don't age at all. But Streetward Rambler, or Madam Ping as we know her, probably only became old because it's what she wanted for herself.
Madame Ping possesses vast knowledge and great wisdom. Whatever physical form she may decide to take, her mind and wits are as sharp.
Yep, Kuting summed it up perfectly.
I think... that can wait until after the concert, though.
Ah, speaking of, Madam Ping wishes you all the best with the music fest. Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that she'll stay in her usual spot, but listen to the performances from afar.
Wait, are you serious? Huh. Oh no, now I'm starting to get nervous. Okay, alright. Nope, another rehearsal is in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Paimon wasn't even finished telling him everything. Before we set off on our search with Ganyu, he asked us about what music means to people. After our recent adventure, Paimon thinks we have a lot more to say about that now.
Please, share your insights with me.
Well, we found out that music can be used for good, but also for bad. It can make people happy and moved, but it can also be sad and bittersweet. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's hearts. It can put you in touch with feelings from a totally different time and place.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip. Don't worry, I'm sure Ganyu will fill me in on all the details shortly.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna carry on working?
Mm-hmm. Just a few things to wrap up. All the groundwork is done. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our efforts are worthwhile. Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
Whew. That should be everything taken care of, right? Oh, no, wait. Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. What was it? Oh, it feels like it was a while ago. Shoot! Latent... Wait, no. Anyway, Zhang-Li said he wasn't in a hurry, so if we went now, there's probably still time, right? Anyway, even if we don't make it, it's not our fault. He could have totally picked them by himself. Ugh. Anyway, let's go check with him at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, so lively. This is how a festival should be.
We're way behind schedule. We're way behind schedule.
Oh!
All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight? Okay.
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to mention we have several invisible audience members enthusiastically cheering us on. It's the perfect spot to rehearse.
Invisible audience members?
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but a giant frog with sharp teeth.
Come on, knock it off.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Xinyan's chords, and Yunjin as our mentor, we'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore! Oh, now Paimon's rhyming along. But when you say flames roaring, are you sure this'll be safe?
No, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage, and I've already informed the Yuhong.
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for the mountains. Said he wanted to pay a visit. It's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this. As well as being a true connoisseur of traditional art forms, he's able to appreciate Xinyan's performance.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, he was the one who first invited me to perform here. To tell the truth, though, I never thought I'd really find myself rehearsing here one day.
Well, now you know. The Wangsheng Funeral Parlor is a great location. All of you are always welcome to come and hang out here, especially if you're in the mood to try something new. I can speak to that. Hu Tao is always full of fun surprises.
And jump scares.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas for your part. Do you want to go through them together?
Oh, sure thing. I'm all ears.
Oh, Traveler and Paimon, I believe Zhongli was heading to Mount Hulao, so make sure you're hiking up the right hill. When you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. It's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No excuses. You should join us too. It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from being a funeral director, it's how to throw a party.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
Paimon sees them! It's illuminated deer! And illuminated bird number 2!
A familiar face. Have you come from Liyue Harbor? How is the city nowadays?
Everything's great! But you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and...
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tianheng in recent times. I believe the sights of the city are quite
Zhongli! Here you are! got the bamboo shoots you wanted.
Impeccable timing. Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is something of a shortcut.
Wait, that...
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme cuisine.
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon doesn't go changing the name, will it?
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during your recent journey. Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. Our journey should be seen as a means to take on more from the world around us. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some for yourself.
Oh, Zhongli! Huta told us to tell you. She said, it's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No, when she says performance, she must mean the Lantern Rite music As for the banquet, she didn't tell us anything more about that, but she invited...
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give Director Hu my best wishes for the performance. As for the banquet, since the Director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll see you there?
Absolutely.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Thank you. I will... The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes...
Had one known that Cloud Retainer was in possession of such eminently useful devices.
And yet, since you share my lack of enthusiasm for mechanisms and fine dining, it would have become a mere decorative...
Not so. Had one had such a device to make up for one's lack of culinary prowess, Shenhe would not have had to rely on flowers and herbs alone for sustenance, while under one's care.
In that case, shall we rendezvous with Cloud Retainer one day soon, and request to borrow one more Supreme Cuisine machine?
A fine idea. A fine idea in...
We're way behind schedule.
No touching.
A touch of frost. Spirit Blade. Attack!
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hitao, and this is a little something called...
The Blaze Lilies!
I'm up here blazing trails through the midnight sky, lighting up the world below. And when the crowds all hear my voice, they'll meet the spirit of rock and roll.
Let's go! Hey, you butterfly, you two buzzing by, guiding your way to the afterlife, opening the path without a fright. Oh, I'll light the fire, watch it blaze across the universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch your step, or you'll get burned. Hey, woo!
Yeah!
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Xiao Lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Xiao lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.
Listen! That must be Madame Ping!
I'm cool to question.
Traveler, hurry! It's almost time for us to join Hotel for dinner! Ooh, and we'll be meeting at Shinue Kiosk. It's the place with a really long wait list. As expected of the...
Oh, so that's how it is. Thanks for the suggestions, Mr. Zhongli.
I've long heard that your knowledge encompasses all things old and new, Mr. Zhongli. But I never knew that you were well versed in the art of... It is truly an honor to make your acquaintance.
No need for formalities. I too feel humbled to be in the company of such talented young people. There are...
Oh, you flatter us. If it's possible, may I trouble you to provide a few words of guidance for my practices and
Exorcism? I can't say I'm an expert in the field, but if you don't mind, we could...
Whoa, there's so many people here. All we knew was that Hotel invited Zhongli over. Paimon never thought we'd be meeting so many old... Happy Lantern Rite, everyone!
Likewise. Please take a seat.
Happy Lantern Rite! Are you having fun? Me too. I've seen Xinyan perform before, but this is the first time I've watched something. I heard that the audience loved it too, and she's been receiving quite a lot of performance invitations lately.
Yep, and they asked us to pass on their season's greetings to everyone.
The performance was spectacular indeed. However, it gave Xiangling a huge burst of inspiration, which in turn gave us a bit of a...
Us? Did Xiangling ask you to try out her dishes too?
That, my friend, is beside the point. Watching you eat was enough for me. Come to think of it, I probably shouldn't have burdened Chongyun with eating my
Hold on, Xiangling came up with a new recipe?
See? Someone here knows how to encourage people. Oh, and I have to thank Mr. Zhongli too. He gave me luck.
Oh, so that's a...
Yes. Since we'll be dining together, the topic of our conversation, Xiangling's ideas are truly unconventional. Her choices in both ingredients and spices are comparable to a melon. My suggestions were nothing more than the icing on the cake.
Oh, the two of you always deliver.
Now I'm getting embarrassed. Anyway, I'll get everyone to have a taste after I've adjusted the recipe.
That sounds like it might...
How about I sample?
Speaking of eating, Paimon feels like we're Oh, Huta was the one who invited us.
Oh, the Guoba... You know, lots of people come over to eat during Lantern Rite. Without Guoba helping out, I probably wouldn't have had the time to accept who... As for who...
The director went to collect a guest. She asked me to stay here and host you for the time being. Seems like it's almost...
Huh? Huta went to fetch someone and could it be... Could she?
She didn't clarify. And as her subordinate, I couldn't just...
Ta-da! We're here! Oh, we're not late to the party, but good thing the Conqueror of Demons and I are both as swift as the wind. And whoosh, we made it just in time.
Oh, I see. So the important guest is the Conqueror of Demons. I've been looking for... The director didn't mention anything when she invited us. What a pleasant surprise. Gathered here with us tonight are not only young and accomplished individuals, but also the protector of Leo. To convene here with all of you is indeed a great...
It's almost Lantern Rite. Yet you took all the trouble coming here.
The director has a way of making it difficult to decline.
Rex Lapis, may I ask...
The director asked me to buy sesame oil in preparation for the celebration.
Then why would you come all the way to...
I had a pleasant chat with Chef Yanxiao and received some spices from him. And, see? Here's some matsutake.
What about the sesame oil?
It's a shame. I couldn't find the kind the director was looking for.
I'm sure you're exaggerating, Zhang... Sir.
There he goes again. Enough with the pleasantries. Go let our guests take a seat. Everyone here today is well known in their own field and has probably heard about one another to some extent. Some of us are even... I heard that the Conqueror of Demons and the Traveler are pretty close. Great. You two...
You should take a seat too, Director.
Oh, finally, when we arrived just now, the hosts at Shinue Kiosk told me our dishes are almost ready. Perfect timing. Let's not wait any longer and ask them to bring out the food.
Paimon would have never guessed the person who Tao went to fetch was Xiao.
Oh, that's also the first I've heard of the Traveler and Paimon being friends with the Conqueror of Demons.
You know Xiao Chu?
Knowing is a bit of an overstatement. You might not know this, Paimon, but we exorcists have worked in close collaboration with the Conqueror of Demons for many generations, dispelling evil together, both in the open and from the shadows. Hard to imagine that thanks to Hu Tao, I've finally gotten the chance to meet him. Conqueror of Demons, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
It is a great honor indeed to have a chance to meet the legendary Conqueror of Demons. Changyun has brought that name up quite a few. I remember you mentioning wanting him to understand the importance of...
We know each other too. He helped try my dishes during the Masterful Chef's cook-off. I didn't think we'd have the chance to meet again.
No anecdote, however, compares to meeting you in person. I'm Xingqiu, Shangling and Changyun's friend. The pleasure is all mine.
Whoa. Everyone's getting all formal and polite all of a sudden. Paimon doesn't know what she should... Adeptus Xiao, mighty conqueror of demons! Please accept Paimon's greetings too! Belated Happy Lantern Rite! Paimon tried very hard to look for a fancy word, okay? Don't be too harsh on
There's no need to be so polite.
You're right. This was meant to be a nice little get-together between friends after all. Too much formality kills the atmosphere. I didn't plan this gathering only for everyone to walk on eggshells. Hiya.
What's your true intention, then?
A little get-together between friends, sipping the finest tea and watching lanterns float into the sky, bidding farewell to the past, and embracing the present with joy. And that is something our consultant would say. I think it deserves a...
Indeed. Exceptional acting skills, Director.
As for me, I'm just here to have fun and treat everyone to something good. We all worked really hard this year. Whether traveling or cooking, helping with the family business, exorcising evil spirits, and of course, our consultant, who's been helping out at the parlor every now and then. Everyone has done some pretty amazing things. As the one who brought everyone together, it goes without saying that I'm the one most deserving.
Huh? Sounds kinda self-important, but... Paimon thinks it's pretty amazing that she managed to talk Xiao into coming. He rarely ever enters Liyue Harbor after all.
It wasn't as complicated as you think.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, boss lady.
It's not boss lady, just boss. And there she goes. What a lively girl.
Conqueror of Demons, Adeptus Xiao. Guardian of Wangshu Inn, hero of Dihua Marsh. I know you're there.
Quiet. Do not
Sorry, but you wouldn't show up if I didn't yell your name, would you?
I know you. You're the 77th director of Wangshu. Is there something you need?
That does sound like one of Hu Tao's antics.
Did the Conqueror of Demons agree to come so that Hu Tao would stop
There might be other reasons.
Smart guess, huh? It gets pretty boring from here on. I talked about the funeral parlor's past relationships with the Guardian Yakshas. You know, just to be social.
In the time of the Archon War, disputes were frequent, and disaster overtook the land. Humans couldn't escape from the torment of the plague, nor the Adepti vanquished the demons. the Millelith fought valiantly, and Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was responsible for purifying the diseased and sending off the spirit. That is how the border between life and death was maintained during the war. And it effectively prevented further incidents from happening.
That's right. 1 point for the consultant. But despite our deep-rooted connection, it still took me quite a while to actually convince him. You know him pretty well, huh?
This matter is out of my control, so I need to...
True, but I've kept that in mind too. That's why everyone here today is in one way or another acquainted with elemental power. Besides, it'll only be for a short while as we dine together. There won't be any lasting...
But I didn't expect there to be so many people.
There's no need to worry, Conqueror of Demons. We're not feeling anything. Our young exorcist over here is protected by his pure yang energy, so he's probably the most resilient.
That's not the same. And did you just toss your carrots into my bowl?
Huh? What?
I'm siding with Chongyun. I saw your lucky Guoba isn't here today. He hates seeing people being picky with their food.
Huh? Guoba would do that? Is he that uncompromising? But now that I think of it, Xianglin told me that Guoba used to be the stove god.
It sounds like you've heard the rumors.
I'm doing fine. Not long ago, before Lantern Rite, thanks to his help, things have been a lot more stable than before.
Right! Wait, what?
Seeds of story.
And cultivated by did Paimon just unconscious that voice? Could it be?
If I'm not mistaken, don't just sit there, Zhongli. No such need.
You finally let me in. Hello, hello. No matter if we've met before or not, this moment marks a brand new encounter. Old friends and new. Happy...
Oh, it's the tone-deaf book.
Oh, he seems to carry a valiant breeze wherever he goes. It looks like we're gonna be... Fate has brought us together, so come on, take a seat and be my guest. Help yourself. Oh, I'll ask them for another set of cutlery.
This young lady here is as bright as a fresh bouquet of flowers in the morning's rising sun. She no doubt is the one with the most authority here. Whoa, these dishes look amazing! Is it really okay for me to join in?
Huh, it's you!
Oh, isn't this Genyu?
Genyu?
Yep. Now that I've taken a closer look, you're a fan of Genyu's works, aren't you? I met Xingqiu at a light novel convention. How I wish we'd met sooner. I never expected that there'd be another person in this world who could interpret Genyu's new novel as thoroughly as I could.
Venti, you're being too humble. Considering your poetic talent, your fundamentals are way...
Could this new guest be Master Xingqiu's friend?
Yes. Monsters become more active than usual as we get closer to Lantern. I was patrolling Dihua Marsh a few days ago, when I happened to run into this...
You've already forgotten? And bards go around singing where...
Oh, right. And this bard was performing and it was a moving melody. And it made me feel relaxed and at ease.
Thank you for your patronage.
I understand now, too. I'm Zhongli, currently working at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. It's a pleasure to meet you, new friend.
And I'm his boss. Oh, and if there's anything unsatisfactory, let me know anytime.
That's very considerate of you.
Oh? No wonder. Only a boss as savvy and reliable as you would be able to hire such an impressive consultant.
Oh, you're too not to brag, but our consultant truly is impressive. His knowledge extends across the stars and the land, and there's nothing throughout history that he doesn't. From the sophisticated way he speaks, it's hard not to suspect that he could very well be an adeptus in disguise. Xiao, you're an adeptus. Do you think it might be possible?
Sorry. I'm only good at conquering demons. I'm afraid I don't have much knowledge in—
Really? But Paimon thinks you're super knowledgeable. Huh? Xiao's a warrior. He doesn't come to the city very often, so it's, pretty normal for him to not—
I've actually heard a few things about Mr. Zhongli before. The guests in the tavern talked about this refined and courteous man who, instead of having wine at Mondstadt's finest tavern, ordered a cup of hot tea with the most
Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that there indeed is a musician like yourself in Mondstadt. I've heard that he's elegant and amiable, his works witty and vibrant. It's no overstatement to regard him as the best bard in Mondstadt.
Now you're making me a bit. I would say that Mondstadt's poetry is a little run-of-the-mill sometimes. There's one I heard a while back that went, "The old house is renewed, welcoming the spring breeze, awakening..." Oh, the meaning's there, but the word choices are unimaginative, and there's a distinct lack.
I think so too. The composition needs a little. If I were to give it a go, I'd make it an old melon on a vine, a new flower that grows fine.
Oh, good one! It feels unique and has a nice ring to it.
You have great taste, Venti. I was right about you.
Of course.
Hey, Xingqiu. Mind lending me a few books when we get back? Pick out some well-written ones. I don't know if it's my own lack of literary knowledge, but I couldn't tell the difference between those two.
I don't think it's your fault.
Chongyun's right. It's not our fault.
Oh, you have a point. But speaking of, why is the tone-deaf bard here?
I heard that Liyue will be hosting a Lantern Rite music festival this year. As a musician myself, how could I possibly resist the temptation? Getting to know other musical styles is essential to sparking inspiration, don't you think? As for the Fontaine friend who hosted the festival, I saw him near Stone Gate the other day. The Iridescence tour has finally been held successfully for once, so I had to congratulate him. Don't think anything of— By the way, I was watching as you entered Xinyue Kiosk, but no one seemed to notice me. Should I say that it's because I'm an expert in hiding, or that a certain someone deliberately ignored the sound of the wind?
Whenever Lantern Rite comes around, Liyue Harbor becomes bustling with activity. People are all busy watching the lanterns and strolling around the shops, and they might just go travel somewhere on a whim. It is rather difficult to predict another's whereabouts. The festival is in full swing and proceeding smoothly, and we're all gathered here with friends, new and old. This is no doubt a wonderful occasion to come together with all of you at the beginning of the year. One can't help but be filled. In a moment like this, I propose we raise a glass together. In my case, tea in lieu of wine.
Very well said, Mr. Zhongli. That was exactly... now I'm getting a little self-conscious. I didn't cause you too much trouble barging in like that. We usually drink wine during occasions like this over in Mondstadt. But since Mr. Zhongli insists on drinking tea, I'll give a toast with tea too.
You're welcome. As the host of this gathering, I hope everyone enjoys the food and drinks. Considering that everyone may have other matters to attend to later, sticking to tea seems like a good idea.
All of a sudden, they started proposing toasts.
What's with the urgency?
Have you two finished eating? It's always nice to have a breath of fresh air after a meal. Helps.
Paimon will come too. Yeah? Okay then.
It seems like our new friend is an expert in wine.
I deserve no such praise. I'm glad we're all...
No such thing. I wouldn't dare disrespect the director's guest.
Are you alright? It's hard to describe. It's not that. There were those among the Adepti who loved gatherings and idle chit-chat. Sometimes they would call up a few others for a drink. Even I got dragged along to their gather. The Adepti all have their specialties, making most of them proud and arrogant. Everything they say is straight from the heart. It never gets too complicated. But this time... That's not what I meant. Or perhaps I should say Rex Lapis is really good at adapting to human life. You could say that, and that's something I might never be able to do. That does sound like something you would say. No matter. I know my circle. Whenever I think of the ordinary conversations I've had with you, it feels... strangely... Yes, the parlor director went out of her way with the invitation, so it was difficult to turn her down. I had made mental preparations before agreeing. She told me that all the guests today would be acquainted with elemental power. And I knew that you would be, but I didn't expect the other guests to be... General Capisis always said that we should live in the present and enjoy every pleasant surprise. Perhaps that's what I should do with what I'm feeling now. But I think he meant designing clothes for those around him. The clothes were intricately designed, but inconvenient to wear. Brother Bosacius never tried to hide his distaste in front. Rex Lapis did like his designs and even collected quite a few. The outfit he wears now was also designed by General Capisis, and I never saw him wear this during the war. I didn't expect him to start wearing it later.
Oh, here you are. I'm not intruding.
You're not.
Hu Tao saw that everyone's done eating and asked the staff to bring out the dessert. Paimon got so anxious that you weren't back yet that she scarfed down her dessert without the usual slurping and munching. To be honest, I was kind of worried. You looked a little restless just now, and I thought you weren't used to the food here and was planning to head back to Wangshu Inn for something Yanxiao.
You're worrying too much. Why would I? Anyway, let's head back.
Please wait! There's another reason why I came looking for you. Here, take these.
Almond tofu?
Yup. Since the Masterful Chef's competition, you could say that Yanxiao and I are not only competitors, but good friends as well. I visit him at Wangshu Inn sometimes I heard him say that the esteemed guest on the roof loves nothing more than a good plate of almond tofu, so I learned a thing or two about the dish from him. I'll be honest, before Hu Tao invited everyone, she secretly came looking for me, told me about the guests she planned to invite, and asked me for some suggestions on what she should order. So I made a few servings of almond tofu for you guys in advance. Take them as a token of gratitude for your support. When I told Guoba that I was making these for you, he started eagerly running around the kitchen and helping a lot too.
Thank you for the trouble. I'll take them.
You're welcome. Oh, the almond tofu I made probably tastes and feels a little different from the type Yanxiao cooks. Please let me know if there's
Okay.
Alrighty, we should head back now. We can't keep Paimon.
Just what will we come...
You're finally done whispering secrets to each other? So much for promising Paimon you'll be back soon. How could you say that to Paimon? In that case, besides having no sense of time, Paimon will let you know what having no sense of fullness looks. Your dessert is all Paimon's.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
No worries, we're all just chatting here. There's no serious business to take. Whether we're chatting outside or inside, it's all the same.
Paimon's too busy eating.
But even though we're all well acquainted by now, I think this festive gathering deserves something
Oh? Is this... Nope. This is something I made up so that good luck will be on our side. That spontaneity is the best choice to make here. Let's use this incense burner on the table. It's been lit for so long now that the incense is running out. I'll leave refilling and lighting the incense. Lighting the incense will signify continuous growth and
I see. Perfect And speaking of the most distinguished guest here today, I'm sure we all agree that it's Mr. Zhongli. I'm not very familiar with the details of his past deeds, but chatting with him has been a real eye-opener. Even for a bard who has traveled all across. If knowledge were a form of power, one could even say that you're a wielder of unlimited strength.
But when it comes to having a way with words, the notable bard is certainly one cut above the rest. I just happen to have a good memory. It is such an unexceptional skill, yet you made it sound like an unparalleled talent. I am true. Since we all get to nominate someone, I think it's only fair that we let the parlor director light the incense.
Huh? That won't do. We are looking for the most distinguished guest here. As the host, now that we've enjoyed this table full of delicacies, how about we let our one and only chef here do the honors? It's not a big deal. Just look at her. Xiangling, the disciple of an adeptus, the stove god's best companion, the winner of the Masterful Chef's competition, the only heir of the famous One Mean restaurant, a good old friend of mine. There's no better choice.
Why does Paimon feel like we're back at square one?
Please stop! If we're looking for a distinguished guest, surely the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild counts. It's one of...
Huh? Don't get...
Oh, not a bad choice.
That's not how it works. Making a fortune is indeed a fine wish, which means we should choose Chongyun.
Huh? I can't be the one. Adeptus shall.
I refuse. I am most certainly not the most distinguished guest here. You should all be able to make the right judgment, but one person here is well acquainted with everyone else.
Oh, that's right! Even though you're always mocking Paimon, you're still pretty popular with other— No, wait! Paimon said she wouldn't talk to you again. Huh? Who else is there? Huh? Does that mean... Paimon? Oh, well, that was...
I agree. Paimon's just the one. Without a friend constantly by your side, a long journey would become dreadfully lonesome. But once you have someone there to brighten up the atmosphere, everything along the way will become lively and vibrant too.
Ah. The traveler has traversed many nations and left behind a great deal of fascinating stories. But without Paimon, they would have become quite monotonous. Paimon plays an indispensable role in making your journey a happy...
You guys! Those were genuine compliments, right? Thank you. You made Paimon wait for a long time.
Don't take everything to heart, Paimon. Friends tease each other all the time.
That isn't...
That means Paimon is as important to the traveler as Guoba is to me. Looks like we've come to an agreement. Any objections?
I trust the traveler's judgment.
Then Paimon it is. And now, the world's most excellent traveler's greatest companion, guide, and friend. Paimon! We'll be refilling and light. Here you go. Take... It's getting late. I won't take up any more of your time. You're all free to go as you please.
Yep, the tea was
You don't have to go all polite on me. Just remember to come when I invite you next time. Let's see. It's dark out, so I'm going to accompany Xiangling, Xingqiu, and Chongyun back home. As for the rest of the guests, I'll leave them to our consultants.
No need. I'm headed towards the harbor to meet a friend on the ship. There's no need to trouble one such as Miss. I think you know the place I'm talking about. Come meet me anytime. It was great getting to know you all. Let's meet again.
Bye. Oh. We'll catch you all later then. Don't forget to return to the parlor later. There's something I need you to do.
Understood. See you later. Well then.
Rex Lapis.
Just Zhongli will... I live as a mortal in Liu Harbor now. I am just one among many who begin work at sunrise and retire to rest at sundown. If we were to consider status and seniority as Zhongli, I should be respectfully referring to you as Adeptus Shao.
Heaven forbid. Not you too.
I heard that during the Lantern Rite Music Festival, you conferred with Streetward Rambler and Cloud Retainer. I take it as you've gained a lot more knowledge. The same truth will sound different coming from different people. As more bear witness to a story, feelings and interpretations expand in I once had a pleasant chat about the past and present with a Sumeru scholar named Soraya, and learned a few things about her research topic. From the evidence she found and the conclusion she made, her area of research is already very close to the truth. But there are multiple sides to humans, and in the legends recorded by humans, some gods were depicted as arrogant and condescending, while others were kind. But whether to me, Streetward Rambler, Cloud Retainer, or younger adepti such as Shao and Ganyu, those adepti and gods that may seem extraordinary to humans, are something more akin to close companions. This was as true back then as it is right now. Just how Shao may seem unapproachable to most, but the Traveler has proved otherwise. So there's no need to dwell too much on certain things. It looks like you understood what I meant. The director asked me to accompany you on your return, but I don't think you'll need my protection. I'll be taking a walk around and admiring. After that, it'll be time for me to go back and meet up with the director.
Bye, Zhongli! Everyone's gone now. Paimon always feels a little empty inside when a lively celebration, but at least you always stay by No. Paimon got it mixed up. Paimon, the best and most distinguished travel guide, will always stay by your side, Traveler. Good that you're aware of that. Shell, is there anything else you want to do? We could take you on a tour of Liu.
No need. I've stayed here for much longer than I had expected. The city lights are a fine sight. The events of today occurred so abruptly. I appreciate your kindness. Okay, I'll